Do you have any piece of advice for someone who's struggling to be themselves? Someone who's like teetering between the line of like, this is what I really want to be like, this is who I really am, and pleasing like their parents or what society thinks.
Don't ever listen to your parents sometimes.
Shit. Welcome to Guys That Listen. I'm Peter, and today we got a special guest, Johnny Keo's on the pod.
What's up, guys?
Johnny, tell them about yourself.
Yeah, they call me Johnny Kills. I go by Handsome Boy Kills now. I'm recently taken by, a beautiful Vietnamese girl.
Oh, damn. Good luck, bro.
Yeah, shout out to my girlfriend right now. I work for the county of Orange,
Oh, shit.
and I deal with it's kind of sad. I deal with when social workers send me like a report.
Oh,
I deal with like neglected child, severe neglection,
shit.
sexual abuse, physical abuse.
How?
And
When
the
the
victims are like aged from 0 through 17, 18 years old.
Wow.
So when you read the screener narrative, like for my job, you're not supposed to read it because
What is that? What's the
it makes you
screener?
numb, huh?
What's the screener narrative?
Screener narrative is when a third party or reporting party, they send they call the social worker and they report what's going on to the victim, or they see what's going on or happening to the victim, and they get information, and then what I do, I fill out the information and process it. So I process the victim, their family, the alleged perpetrator.
Oh.
Like it could be anybody, bro. Like from
It's-
police that supposedly are gonna help you.
Oh, fuck.
They turn off the camera. The girls are like, oh, for pastors, from teachers,
Oh.
from teachers' aid, like everybody, like everything. Yeah, but you have to be numb to the story, bro.
I have a friend, Dewey. You know Dewey. He
Yeah.
he used to do the same thing.
No, he still does, cause I see them.
Yeah. I guess he kind of still does.
Yeah.
But
I was
yeah,
like,
so
hey,
he's
Miss Master Bing Chang.
wow. That's what you call him. All right, so I gotta ask you this. You said you have to be numb to it. Do
Yeah.
you feel like it causes problems for you personally? Because I'm not saying that this is true, but my Dewey, my buddy, he definitely he's always drank a lot. And I'm not saying that he even drinks more, but I feel like he's dealing with more when he is, because how do you numb yourself from seeing shit like that?
Sometimes you want to be a vigilante, like you're like, fuck, I want to go to
Yeah.
that person's house and just choke the shit out of them. Like for real, like
You
But you
just
can't
take
do
it into your own
nothing, like-
hands, right?
yeah, you can't do nothing about it, and I feel bad for the kids, like the victims.
How long have you been doing this?
Right now it's gonna be like a year and a half.
Fuck, how was it getting into it?
You know what? I just process the paperwork, but they say don't read it because
Yeah.
So-
But how do you not read it?
I know exactly.
Really? What's-
Yeah, it's there, and then sometimes you're like, what's going on? Yeah, it's stories that, hey, mom, this person is violating me, but mom don't listen, and then you go through some stuff like suicidal stuff, like depression, like it causes, it's like a domino effect.
Yeah. You read a lot of these things, right? A lot of these like reports. Do you feel like there's a repeat pattern that happens where
Like,
you
for
you-
victims or
for victims and for the perpetrators?
No, the perpetrators could be anybody. Like, not the patterns are. It's just anything could happen, bro.
So there's
Like-
not one thing where you could see, let's say, there's a victim of child abuse, right?
Yeah.
And it's from their parents. And if you look at their history, I'm not sure if you can, but like you find out the parents were also abused. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah, like a connection between.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
If the,
Like why this person might have been like this, or maybe a past history.
It-
Like they're a
There's
repeat
always-
offender.
Yeah. I know what you meant.
Yeah.
But no, they could start out like fresh.
Wow.
Or like you could say the mom, she could be in like a what do you call it like a runaway or foster or shelter, and she has a daughter, and then she abuses, like it's a connection also, but some of them is just fresh, like different.
Wow.
Yeah.
Since it's been like a year and a half for you doing this, do you remember the first one that you read that kind of made your heart drop a little bit?
Every report makes your heart drop because you're
Really?
like, oh man, they shouldn't, like pastors or teachers that are supposed to look out, oh, the teacher would be like, they'll like, what do you call it? Groom the student, like,
Oh,
oh, you're doing a good job. Come to my class during break.
that's so insane. And all these have to do with kids, right?
Yeah, it's like kids from age 0 through 17, and sometimes 18, but they're adult now, and
Yeah.
then they go to the adult services.
Dude, that's crazy. So you process the file. What happens after that?
I process the file and then I send it to the third part, like the reporting party, and let them know that, hey, this, it's going in the system. And sometimes they send out like they're called like a 10-day or an immediate, like it goes out right away so the police can go do like a warrant check or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, because, I've always been curious about it.
Yeah, no, it's
But just
it's
like-
really deep. Like sometimes I'm like, oh man, I just want to go to that person's house and like, there's an address there and like.
From reading all these reports, do you feel like the way you perceive how a child should be taken care of is different now?
You always have to listen to the victim. Like they're a victim for a reason. Sometimes people don't want to listen to them and they want to cry out for help. That's why like they said, oh, they're 5150 or they're trying to commit suicide or suicidal.
What's 5150?
Like they're going crazy or whatever. Like, but they have to be a reason also,
Yeah.
like traumatized at home. People don't listen, and then they feel left alone, like, hey, no one's listening to me, let me try to cut myself or take pills.
Is there more cases than what people would think?
Bro, there's cases every single day.
Every single day.
Every single
And you're
day.
just talking about in
Everywhere.
Orange County, or
this is just Orange County that I'm doing the
Yeah.
files on.
and it's just every single day things are coming in.
Yep, I do referrals. I do, because I know they send me like 15 assignments, so I do referrals. Each referrals, and then some of them are like basic, like, oh, grandma hit them. It's like physical abuse, like a little bit of physical, like maybe it's just like over your head, like, oh, she's just teaching your just kids a lesson.
Some discipline.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
discipline, yeah.
back in our day, like old
Yep.
school shit.
My mom would hit me with a hanger, or
Yeah,
my
yeah.
grandma would hit me with a hanger or a scratcher or
Yep.
anything that they get a
Yeah.
hold of.
Yep.
I get used to the pain and I keep on doing it because I'm like, fuck it.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Let's move on a little bit since
All right.
it's getting a little heavy. But since we're talking about the past, anyways, like we've known each other for a long ass time, right? And we're definitely not the people that we are today back then.
Yeah.
Like definitely a little bit more of troublemakers, but
Back then we were troublemakers. Now
Yeah.
we're more mature.
yeah, definitely. Because when you told me you work for the county, I was like, damn, that's fucking wild.
I know.
Because Dewey's the same way, right?
Yeah.
Like back then he was a fucking troublemaker. And now he works for the county too, doing pretty much the same shit that you're doing. And I'm like, whoa. It's like a lot of
He's
people.
been there for like what?
a long
a
time.
long
now.
time,
A
yeah.
while. Yeah, he's seen a lot of shit, and
Yeah.
and that's why like we always make this joke. And it's like it's a terrible joke. I mean, you guys should never make this joke, but like I'm like, how does it feel to have a job where you tear kids away from their families, But
Oh, sometimes it happens.
yeah,
It's
it
crazy,
does
yeah.
happen, and it's like it's like a dark joke, dark humor joke, but that's the reality of things, right? Because like you were saying, you have to be numb to it,
Yeah.
and weirdly enough, like when we grew up, there are cases like you were saying where grandma would hit you, or your mom would hit you,
discipline.
and now it would actually be set in as like a case. But back then, it was just like standard, right, in an
Yeah,
Asian household.
Yeah, that one's just regularly. Like,
Yeah.
If
But-
you do something wrong, you're going to get hit.
Yeah.
You talk bad, you get hit.
But also, we did a lot more wrong things, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To be
Yes.
fair, than like the typical A plus like Asian
Yeah.
kid, right?
Yeah.
Like we didn't get hit for having bad grades. It would be like for getting into fights or stealing.
All my life, since kindergarten, all the way to my college years, each year I would get into like a scuffle or a fight for real.
Uh-huh.
Like I beat up somebody, and I'll get a referral. I get suspended. Like every year from kindergarten all the way to my college year.
That's crazy. How did you not just get kicked out of the district?
Each year it's different. Like
Mm-hmm.
knock some, make somebody nosebleed.
Mm.
That's it. They give me like 1 or 2 days suspended. Go back to school. And then the next year I do the same thing. Like I even hit one of my close childhood friend. Like I just, cause he was just talking. I'm like, pop. and right now he's the biggest motherfucker ever. Like,
You don't want to do that
like,
anymore.
yeah, and he knows jiu-jitsu and everything. Like,
Yeah.
but when we were kids, you don't know nothing, but you
Yeah.
watch a lot of kung fu movie, karate movie,
Yeah,
like martial
yeah.
arts
Look up
movie,
to Bruce Lee
like
and
Chinese.
shit.
No, not even Bruce Lee. I was watching like Chinese dramas,
Oh yeah, yeah. Me
Like,
and
you
those
know,
two
like-
for sure.
fucking 100 tapes. Like
Damn.
now you watch episodes online, but
Yeah,
back then
Netflix.
you go to like a video store, like Videoland or our video, whatever. You rent out like 60 of them for like 50 cents each, 25 cents each.
And then you bring her back home,
Yeah.
and you have 2 recorders, and you record a bunch
Yeah,
of the
for real,
empty
yeah,
tape. You fucking have one for
Yeah.
yourself. Yeah, I remember back in those days, dude. Fucking making ourselves sound
But-
really old right now.
Back then they're like, oh, he knows karate or he knows
Yeah.
kung fu. I used to like,
Would you get mad at that?
no, I was like, all right, no, you didn't want to mess with me, like.
Yeah.
And back then, like, when I was in kindergarten all the way to 3rd grade, I didn't know nothing about racist. Being racism, like, I was hanging out with like Mexicans, black kids, white kids, whatever. But in 4th grade to 5th grade, that's when I learned about like, oh, Chino, blah blah. I'm like,
Oh,
what,
really?
what do you mean Chino? Like, what are you calling about? Like, I'm Cambodian. They're like, nah, you're a pinchy Chino. I'm like, nah, you tripping. Then I knock them out or whatever. Like, and then that's when, I was talking about my childhood friend. He's all like, hey, yeah, like, come hang out with us. We'll beat all these guys up, whatever. And I still don't know anything about racism because, I have friends that are Mexican, other Asians, like, but my friend had to adapt because he was, born in the ghetto, born in the hood. And every time he goes home, he's about to get jumped by Mexicans. And so he had to be in a gang and, his gang will back him up. And that's why, that's how it starts.
Yeah.
Like realizing like, the segregation of,
These like
Yep.
different ethnic groups.
yeah.
When you said that you don't know anything about racism still, what do you mean by that?
No, when I was a kid.
Oh, when you were a kid.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, now I feel you.
Like, you were born innocent.
Yeah.
And so like you hit 4th to 5th grade and then that's when say, oh, you're Asian. Like now you can't hang out with this person, that
Yeah.
person. I'm like, what? Hell no, I can hang out with whoever I want.
Yeah.
And now they're my friends. Like I grew up with diverse. But during that moment, that school was like, oh, they're going to jump all the Asians and all that stuff. I'm like, nah. Like I have friends that are Mexicans, like everybody.
Yeah. Same.
But my friend that had to adapt in the hood, he's like, nah, you're going to hang out with us. And
Yeah, pick sides.
Yep.
Yeah, that's crazy. Did you have any trouble growing up? Because we all kind of hung out with people like that, right? Where it's like, especially where we're from, you might not be in a gang, but you could easily be affiliated or know someone or a friend of a friend. It's super hard to avoid, right? Especially during the years that we grew up, like during the high school years and like college years, from like the early 2000s to like 2008, 2009. Like it was gang culture was so prevalent. It was almost like you couldn't avoid it anywhere you went. You go to a party somewhere in OC. Talking about like real OC, right?
Yeah.
like
Like
fucking
Santa
like
Ana.
Santa, Westminster, Garden Grove,
Yep.
Anaheim, shit like that. Like you couldn't avoid it. You go to a pool hall, there'd be some shit.
Yeah.
You go to like a bar, there would be some shit. It was just like, damn, you cannot get away from it. I would go to house parties, and like people would pull up in their cars and pull out a gun and be like, "Where are you guys from?"
Yep.
I'm like, look at us.
Look at the way we dress.
Yeah, we're just fucking chilling,
Yeah.
But that was just how things were back then.
Yeah, it's just it don't matter how you dress or the way you put yourself out to people is gonna try to like instigate something.
Yeah, because they want to get something out
yeah.
of you. That's why
Like
they don't really care.
okay, when I was like what in 2003, 2004,
Mm-hmm.
and I was an idiot, like young, dumb, but I was dressing different. I was during 2003, 2004. That's when I was transitioning from a skater to a scene kid, like long hair, tight jeans and stuff, listening to rock or whatever. But I still had the thug mentality because I was born in the hood. But it don't matter the way you dress. Like, people will be like, "What's up, fool? Where you from?" Like, the fuck? Like, it's they see you hang out with your friends, your original friends or whatever, and then it's just I don't know. It's just the way they want to be out there. Like, oh, they want to be tough.
Yeah.
Even if they act tough, like they still get fucked up because I'm a fighter. So
Yeah, I feel you. I I think that was the thing that I noticed growing up as Asian kid in like a predominantly like Mexican like
yeah,
neighborhood. You get that a lot where it's like, yeah, we are in general smaller, right?
yeah,
But also, yeah, like
we're like the minority to the minority.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. We are the minority to minority, but also we know how to fight, and also we don't look the part, right? We're
Yeah.
very unassuming. Like you look at us like they're not gonna do anything. But that's what happens though. That's what happens to me. Like when I was in high school, it happened to me all the fucking time. Like I would get picked on, right? And then I would always see the same pattern. It was like when push comes to shove, like it
Yeah.
would be like a shoving match first couple times, and then in my head I was like, "Fuck, I'm so tired of this shit."
Yeah.
Like just go for it, right? But at the same time, like after going through that for so many years, when I got into college, I think that was the first time where I realized, "Oh fuck, dude, this is
It's different.
kind of bad now."
Yeah.
Like, so I don't know if I ever talked about this during the podcast, but like in my college years, I actually got shot at.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was in a neighborhood. I won't say which neighborhood because they greenlit me, and I don't. I want to say exactly where, but it was down Harbor, right? Let's just say that.
Yeah.
So, and I won't even tell the full story because if they're out, if for whatever reason, these guys who I got involved with happen to be fans of the podcast, I don't want them to unsubscribe, and also I don't want them to jump me later on. But anyways,
Well, that's old news. It's
it is, and I hope
past.
that they don't remember the shit. But so I'll be a little vague about it. But a long time ago, I used to kind of have like an ego thing about fighting, right?
Yeah.
Because we used to have like this boxing club thing.
We all do.
Yeah, we all did, right? And then at that time, I was just doing really well. And these are just kids fucking fighting in the backyard, not really knowing shit, right? But it got to a point where it was like Fight Club, right? We had different circles coming in to like fight us and shit like that. So I was like, damn, I'm actually kind of good at this fighting shit. And then I decided to go to one of those like trap neighborhoods, right?
Yeah.
Which one of my friends lived in, just to like play poker. We were going there to like drink and play poker. And one of my friends, he was driving a car. And as he was driving a car, like he turned the corner, there's these two guys who looked like they were pulling out a ball and they threw it at us. Whatever it was, it caused him to swerve. So he swerved. He like almost
like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he's like, what the fuck? It almost spun out. And at that time, I had my ex and his ex in the car too.
Oh yeah.
So when
it's
your
like
girlfriend,
ego.
when
Like
your ego and your girlfriend's
Like-
involved, you gotta make a fucking point, right?
Yep.
So I was like,
Not in
yo,
front of my girlfriend.
not in front of her. I'm not gonna look like a bitch, of course. Terrible mentality, but
Yeah.
we were kids. So I get out of the fucking car. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? And then these guys are already walking off. They already start walking off. So I don't know why I had this mentality, but I told all my friends, we had a gang of us. I didn't think everyone was gonna come, but I was like, yo, let's fuck these guys up. So we fucking leave. We leave, right? But it's just me and two friends who like follow these guys around, right? So they're two guys, they're big ass dudes. And we're like, yo, what the fuck, And I'm not one to like start a fight right away either.
Yeah.
I'm one who will instigate it, but I won't start it.
Oh
right away,
yeah.
So
I will be the one fighting.
Yeah, see exactly. So I went up to him and I was like, he was like, well, yo, what the fuck, And I was like, yo, why'd you do that? Like, just say sorry. It's all good. He's like, fuck you, I didn't do shit.
Yeah.
And then he shoved me. And then of course, push comes to shove. Socked
Dang.
him. We started fucking fighting, and then he gets to the ground, and then my two friends are fighting the other guy. It becomes this big thing, and this big black like Escalade pulls up. It's like murdered out. It just stops right there,
Yeah.
and we're like, "Yo, what the fuck?" And in the middle of this, one of my other friends, Chino, he comes by. He's like, "Yo, what the hell is this car doing here?" And he's just there in the middle of the street. It's not doing shit, right? And the guy that I'm like hitting, I have him like in a headlock. I'm like hitting him, and all of a sudden his body just flies up. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? He just broke out of my headlock.
Yeah.
And I look, it's my buddy Tony. He like grabbed him from the back and pulled him up. And he was like, just hit him. During this time, I didn't care. When you're in a street fight, you're just like, fuck it, whatever goes, right?
Yeah.
So we fight. And then basically, you know, long story short, we were kind of being bitches because we jumped these guys, right? Let's just say that it was like 3 against 2, right? So
Hey, but they're the one who initiated it.
yeah, of course. You know, in a street fight, it was just like whatever.
Anything goes.
Yeah, anything
Yeah.
goes. You know, and I'm not proud of it by any means, but that was just what it was. So we take off, and this is where the story gets fucking interesting, right? We take off because my buddy Chin's like, let's get the fuck out of here. We don't know what this black Escalade's up to. They might be part of this group.
Yep.
So we split up. And it's my buddy Chino in front of me. We're running. This is like 1 a.m. Just give you some idea.
Yeah.
1 a.m. in the hood, right? My buddy Chino's running. I'm running right behind him. My buddy Tony, he's like a bigger guy. He's the last one because he's just a little bit
I
slower,
know Tony?
you know? He doesn't live here anymore. He moved to Arizona like a long ass time ago. So maybe you ran into him like a while ago, but
Back in the days, party days, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So then we're running through the neighborhood and I see this guy. He's like this like shaved head Mexican dude with like a wife beater on. And he's like watering his lawn at like 1 a.m. Super random, right?
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah, I'm running, right? Because I'm just trying to book it. So I'm running, and then I hear him go, "Hey, where the fuck you think you're going?" And I just look
the
at
guy
him
who
like,
watered the.
the guy who's watering
Yeah.
the plants. And I was like, "Fuck that! I ain't stopping. Like, who the fuck are you?" So I just keep on running, and we get back to the pad. We get back to the pad. Everyone's breathing hard. We're like, "Holy fuck! I can't believe we just fucking did that." And the girls are there, right?
Yeah.
They stay at the house. And then next thing I'm like, where is Tony, my big friend,
Yeah.
the one that was like lagging
Yeah.
behind? And we're like, shit, did something
he
happen
caught
to
him, yeah.
Tony? And then we hear bang, bang, bang. And we open the door and it's Tony. He's like, fuck. He throws his jacket on the floor. He's like, I just got fucking robbed. I'm like, whoa. Who robbed you? He's like, some guy watering his lawn. He pulled out a gun. He asked me for all
Oh.
my shit. And it was the guy that I ran past. So after he saw me, he pulled out his gun. He freaking robbed my buddy at the very end. And he took his wallet and everything.
Stupid, tell me stop. Then.
Yeah.
He should have just
He
ran.
stopped. I guess he
Yeah.
fucking stopped, you know? And I was like, that's fucking crazy. And this is the thing about kids being fucking stupid, right? We're all amped that we fucking like beat these guys up and we fucking thought we were the shit, right? And we're just like, oh, we got away with fucking murder. And we're breathing and we catch our breath for a second and we're like, oh crap, we should probably get out of here because those guys saw where we were parking.
Yeah,
So we're like, okay, let's leave. And one by one, we're all leaving through this door. And as we're going out, we hear like, hey, pussies, like, so you thought you could jump us and get away, huh? And we hear like clank, 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 clank. And these guys have like metal bars and they're hanging the fence. And there's like 10 of them.
Damn.
And they all came back with a squad. I'm like, holy shit.
Did you guys throw it down again?
No, we didn't. No,
You guys booked it?
No, we didn't even book it. Well, we kind of did, but we went back in the house. We're like, yo, get back in the house, get back, because the girls were with us. I was like, there's no fucking way. You know, I think there was Glover, Thomas, me, Tony, Troy, and Dewey. I think it was 6 of us, and there was 10 of them.
Oh
We're
yeah,
like,
no,
well,
all of them except for Tony.
yeah. And then 2 girlfriends, and we're like, yo, let's just go back inside the house, like lock the doors. They got weapons and shit.
My dumb ass would have been like, let's go 1-on-1.
Yeah, trust me. So Dewey's like you in that way, right? So we go back in the house, and Tony again, funny enough, the last fucking guy to close the door. And as he's closing the door to go in, we hear bang bang. He jumps forward, right? He falls forward. Oh,
Yeah.
and we're like, oh shit, Tony, you're right. He's like, oh, I've been shot. I was shot in my leg. And we're like, oh fuck, are you good? So we look at his legs, right? And remember, Tony's a big guy.
Yeah.
He wears baggy ass clothes
Yeah.
because you know that's what fits him. And we look at his leg and we see like a bullet hole, like
yeah.
through. And we're like, oh fuck, Tony, are you good? And we lift up his pants.
It's
There's
great.
nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing. I was like, Tony, they didn't hit you. It just went through your pants. He's like,
He felt
oh
the
really?
heat.
Yeah, he felt the heat, so he thought he got shot.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy fuck, dude, they fucking shot at us. So at this point, remember, this is in the hood in a trapper house, right?
Yeah.
So we locked the doors and we're like, fuck, they got guns. Like, what are we gonna do? And remember, this time my buddy Dewey he was very hot headed too.
Master Wing Chun.
Master Wing Chun. So his car's parked in front, and he used to care a lot about his car because he was a racer, right? He used to tune his like Integra, JDM shit, you know. And he was like, yo, dude, what if they fuck up my car? Fuck that. Let's go outside. And then right when he said that, we hear windows shatter.
Oh, Damn.
The windows started shattering. Like, and he's
Like his car? Or
it was his car. Funny
Damn,
enough, and it was
yeah.
only his car. Isn't that crazy? He called out,
Yeah.
and it was only his car. And he wants to run out. I was like, bro, you get your ass shot up. Get the fuck back here. So he sat back down. We called whoever we knew that was like affiliated. Like, yo, bring heat. You know what I mean? Like no, like the OGs actually. Yeah, because that was like the OGs house. We're like, yo, bring heat, please. Like everything. Bring the crew.
Yeah.
So we grabbed machetes and we put the girls in the bathroom. The bathroom was the only room that didn't have windows.
Wait, you guys didn't have like a back exit or anything?
No.
Is this like a condo or?
It has to go out to the side. So like no matter what, you have to basically go out back front. Yeah, it's like one of those houses that has a house like behind it.
Oh,
yeah, and then it shares like driveways and shit. Yeah, so we put them in the restroom because
in case anything.
Yeah, because the windows you just get blasted, right?
Anything
so we put everyone. And this is the funny part. So we put everyone by the doors with machetes, right? And we're fucking dead quiet at this point. We're like, shut the fuck up. Like if anything happens. And my buddy Glover, he gets a phone call. And he picks it up, dumbass, right? So he has like a machete in one hand, phone in the other. And he's like, "Hey, mom, yeah, I'm just hanging out with my friends. Okay, I'll see you later. Love you." And we're just looking at him like, "Shut the fuck up!" Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? He's like, "What?" I'm all called. I'm like, bro.
Well, our friend Glover, he's black, so he has to answer his phone call.
Yeah, because or else his mom's gonna be pissed off and whip his ass for sure. So we're waiting, right? And then all of a sudden we hear these huge bangs on the door. We're like, bang, bang, bang. We're like, oh fuck. And the door breaks through. And we got the machetes. We're fucking ready.
It's police?
No, it's the homeowner, my homie. He comes home. He's like, what the fuck is going on?
Why the fuck did he kick the door down though?
I don't know. Oh, it's because we locked everything extra. Like, yeah, because we're like, oh, sure. And then we kind of pressed against it too.
Oh,
to make sure that,
Fuck?
So he kicks through the door and he's like, what the fuck's going on? We're like, yo, like, this is what happened. Did you see anyone in front? And he's like, no, there was no one in front. We're like, okay, so we left.
Bounce.
We're like, okay, it's time for us to go.
Bounce, yeah. Why didn't he answer you guys' phone call and say, where's the Alizé?
Well, we called all of them. And then I don't know, he was busy or something. I don't remember exactly. This is a long ass time ago. So he grabs Alizé and he goes out. He drives like this big red truck at the time. So he's like parked in, right? And then we're just getting into cars trying to leave. Yeah. As we're pulling out, he pulls out his car because he's like, oh, I'm going to scope the neighborhood just in case. He pulls his car out and he's like facing this way, right? And then another car comes facing this way, opposite ways. And it's like an Integra, like old school 4-door Integra. So I'm like, oh, must be the squad because, you know, all the Asian gangs drove like Integras and Civics back then.
I had a 96 Integra.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. So we're like, okay, the cavalry has arrived. Like, we got back up. And then all of a sudden, the windows roll down. And they're like, fuck you fools. Bang, 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 bang. Same fucking guys. They shot us again. Yeah. And then they take off and you see Vit. This is a crazy scene. It's burned into my head because it's like a movie, right? He's in his red truck facing this way.
Vit?
And the other car, yeah. So he reverses his truck. He's chasing them in reverse.
Yeah. You know like he's wild.
Yeah, bro. And then we all book it. We all leave. And I'm like, holy fucking shit. I don't ever want to get into a fight again because the main thing to me that I thought at that point, it humbled me the most because I felt helpless to do anything if my ex at the time got hurt.
Yeah.
I'd be like, damn, that's
because you know that's the love of your life at the moment.
Yeah. And I put her in that situation, you know, because she's not a girl to belong in those situations. You know, she don't. Yeah, she's like Dean's List and shit like that on a roll. Like she's not supposed to be on Harbor. You know what I mean? Like at fucking 1 a.m. and shit like that. So that's when I was like, damn, I need to change it up. Yeah. You know, don't get me wrong. I got into like one other fight, but that was because I had to like protect myself. You know what I mean?
You know what?
Other than that.
Yeah, I've really matured from all the years of fighting. Even when Darn and Cherry was gonna get in a fight. When Darn was dating Shelly, remember Shelly?
Yeah.
Cherry was living at OCC and then he was married to Christy, during the moment. But they had a party or whatever, and I guess some random dude hit Shelly or whatever. Oh. And so there's a big brawl going out, and fucking during the time I had like alopecia and anxiety. I had everything, bro. Like, well, we'll go on later on the story. Yeah. They were about to jump the guy. I was like, nah, don't jump him. Made the dude like he's like 6'2" or a big dude, buff dude. Mm-hmm. I was like, hey man, we don't want to hurt you. We just want you to apologize.
Yeah.
Just say sorry. That's it. Big dude, man, I'm sorry. Dude. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like, like I didn't mean to like start a fight or whatever. I'm like, and then, Cherry was instigating. Darn was like, fuck his ass up. I'm like, nah, bro. Like, just as long as you apologize, you're good.
That's good.
I'm growing. I would have we would have stomped on that fool.
Yeah.
But he's a big dude. I'm like, nah, well, this is humiliating to him anyways, because he's a fucking huge dude. And he's apologizing to, like, us.
Yeah.
So it's okay, like, let it go. Let it go. And then, he apologized. He fucking, somebody was like, tell him to get on his knees, like, I was like, hey man, you gotta get on your knees, bro. Like, I can't do nothing about it. Like, I felt, sympathy for the guy.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Like, yeah, get on your knees, bro, before they jump you. You get on your knees, he apologized, and he took off.
I mean, we've come a long way to be honest, right? Like, thank God.
Like,
looking back at him, like, damn,
bro,
you were so fucking lucky, dude.
Like, I've gotten guns pulled out of me, like, when I was in Cedar Block. Like, I was like maybe 20-ish, 20, I don't remember. But like all the homies were gangbanging and all that shit.
Yeah.
And then like Cedar Street, Evergreen, it's where all the Los Cotes, they're high. They all got beef over there. They're shooting each other. My cousin was slinging drugs out there, whatever. You could beat that out. But, we got the OG over there, and the OG Too Light, we got his two nephews, Low Flame and U-Light. We were just hanging out, drinking 40s, whatever. Like a trailblazer pull up. They rolled down the window and pulled the gun out. So I pulled the homie U-Light down, and then I book it. And they're like, pussy, why you running? And then I was like, motherfucker, you got a gun, nigga. What the fuck? And so fucking, they got a gun, whatever, pull out. Me and Low Flame book it to his house. And I pull U-Light, Michael Mel, that's his name. So I pulled him down, and then his uncle, what do you call it? Too Light, whatever. He was like, hey, if you want to shoot, shoot. He was all loped out in the brain anyways. He was like, if you want to shoot, shoot. You pull the gun out on me, hey, you better shoot. Or else, hey, it's going to be a different story.
Yeah.
They took off and shit.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Too Light, he's the OG. Like, there's so many stories about him. But too bad, like, drugs, like, it's the epidemic of, like, the tweak and glass and fucking meth took over, like, California.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna say like Orange County. I'm saying it took over.
It's everywhere.
It's an epidemic.
I feel like the people who didn't really fuck with it too much, they kind of got out of it, right? Because in the era of our days, when we had OGs and stuff like that, I still talk to some of them now.
Yeah, we're supposed to look up to the OGs, but the OGs got into drugs and all that stuff.
The ones that got really bad, and you're like, damn, dude,
some of them, even some of them that got really bad, they got out of it and they changed their whole life story, bro.
It's possible, for sure.
Yeah. His older brother was, into tweak, or he was into tweak. Like, they were hardcore fucking tweakers, and then they got out of it. But hey, beep that out though. Okay, but he changed his whole life story. Like, he became like a welder, and then he makes like he's married.
Right.
He always tell me a story like make sure you treat your mom like a goddess. Like your mom will. You only have one mom.
Yeah.
Like, he always preached like you only have one mom. You always. That's why when his older brother got in a fight, somebody cussed his mom out. I had to knock the guy out and shit. And Peter stomped on that guy too. So, they're like my brothers. Like, you have to look out for, your own and shit. So
yeah, that's wild that we're talking about all this, and here you are working for the county years later.
But hey, that's the past. The past is the past.
Yeah, it is. It just shows because the main
growth.
reason why I like doing this podcast is like it just shows no matter growth. We're different people now. Things could change, and it's never too late for most people.
I matured since I was, because I had a lot of bad experience, through life. Like noticing people pass away, like your loved ones that pass away. My cousin passed away from being murdered when he wasn't even the person who killed, the other guys. It's just
Yeah.
that he's being Asian, and then the guy was looking for an Asian person to kill,
Yeah.
and so they had revenge, but they had revenge on a different gang. But life goes on. Like
Yeah.
I matured from that. Like the homie was like, "Hey, let's go take revenge,"
It's good.
for my cousin.
Yeah.
I wanted to fucking ride out, like, but in my head I was like, you know what? I got nieces and nephew, you know, my sister to worry about, my whole family to worry about, and my cousin's already locked up for life for something he didn't do, and so like he told me to stay away from it.
Obviously, we've been through a lot of phases in our lives. I went through phases of anxiety and depression, and I had to learn what that was like later on. That it
Yeah, I
hit me
noticed
until my
that 'cause
30s.
that's why you've been journaling.
Yeah.
That's what keeps your mind off depression and all that stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's one of those things, you know what I mean? Because, like, when you don't know what it is, a lot of the times it's something that you kind of let go of. Like, you don't really
Yeah.
focus on it. And that was my way of, like, putting my thoughts out there and
Expressing
seeing.
yourself, venting out,
Yeah,
and
and seeing why. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because I think not enough people figure out why they feel good and why they feel bad.
Yeah.
You know
See,
what I mean?
I noticed that because I watched your stories and you write of like, you pick out a card and you're
Yeah.
like, it's a question and then you answer it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's kind of like a relief.
It is. And I try to answer it more differently now because when you start opening up to yourself, you're kind of short sometimes because you don't know how to express it, right?
Yeah.
Like when I pull out a card that says, when was the last time you had a bad day and what was the cause of it? I'd write, 5 days ago.
Yeah.
Why? Because of work.
Stretching out.
But then I won't elaborate, right? Like, why did work make my day so horrible? Because I got yelled at. Was it something I did? Was it something that I could have prevented? Did I feel insecure about what I was doing? Then I started elaborating and, like, digging deeper, understanding like why, right? Because
Giving more details.
yeah, just looking in more. And a lot of people don't do that, right? And I think that's good because it allows you to understand, like, at what point do you have control of what's going on,
Yeah.
right? Because a lot of the times, especially during those years, I felt like I was just the victim. Like, oh shit, this happened to me. This fucking sucks. My life sucks.
Yeah.
But I didn't look at what point can I take control? At what point can I have
Make things
adjusted
better.
to make
Yeah.
things better?
Yeah.
And if you don't think of those things, you don't adjust. You don't change things.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
You don't express yourself as much.
Yeah. Do you feel like that's something that you're pretty good at, or is that something?
For expression and like adjusting to what I'm feeling. Like, I've always been a blunt person. I've always given myself out to the world. I've always say what I say and meant what I meant. And sometimes people think I'm a joke because, I like to joke around. Like,
Yeah.
I like to tell jokes. But joking is an escape for me. Like, I don't want to be depressed all the time. Like,
Yeah.
I want to overcome that depression and throw out laughters for people. Like Robin Williams, like even though he's depressed inside, he wanted to make people happy.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. And, Anthony Bourdain,
Yeah.
he's showing the world that, everything could be different if you see it in my point of view, but also rest in peace. So
Some greats right there.
expressing myself, I've always expressed myself. I'm just blunt. Like, I like to just say straight out.
Yeah.
And sometimes I joke around like, yeah, because, you just got to be happy. You got to move on and just pick yourself up from where you left off from yesterday. You got to be better than yourself yesterday, Like I told you, like during 2020, when I found out that my ex-girlfriend passed away, I was depressed, drinking like every single day because, during the pandemic, you can't do anything and you
Yeah.
just drink and drink and drink. I was drinking a bottle a day. Like, you're getting free money, you drink a bottle a day. I was drinking a bottle a day. I was like, I found out that she passed away. I'm like, oh my God, like, because we were supposed to hang out. She was like, "Oh, I miss you. You know, like let's hang out." I'm like, "But my parents too old. You know, you don't know what's gonna happen, and I don't want to risk it because my parents is old."
Yeah.
But when I found out she passed away, I was like, "Oh, you know, what can I do about it? I can't change it now."
You said that you guys were supposed to hang out and you found out she passed because
Yeah,
you looked up her
because
birthday.
she hit me up, and then like 2019, and then I looked her up like saying, "Oh, you know what? Her birthday's coming up, or when is her birthday?" So I looked her up, and then it's a obituary, and then it was like a video of her, like, you know, I'm like, "Nah, that's not true." So I went on her Facebook page, and her mom was the one who posted up like, "Oh, you know, my
Oh.
sweet angel, you know."
Do you know what happened or?
Uh, Actually, I've never had closure. I just been drinking and whatever.
Wow.
I'm like, I moved on. Like, I just had to move on. But what do you call it? From one depression to another depression. When I had a homegirl that passed away recently, also back in September.
Mm.
You know, she was in a coma for 12 years, bro.
Oh fuck.
She's Her name is Tush. I don't know if you know her.
I don't think so.
She used to go to proof all the time,
Okay.
and you know, she's like one of my close friend. Also, like we hang out. She's pick me up, go to clubs. We'd have like a great time. So
Whoa. Coma for 12 years?
yeah, for 12 years, and then she just recently passed away.
What happened?
She was walking out of the bar, in Costa Mesa,
Mm-hmm.
like I think Tin Tin or Little Tin. I don't know, some gay club.
Tin Lizzy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tin. So she was, you know, in a crosswalk with her friends, and like a Mercedes just sped up and ran a red light, and the drunk driver just took off. I guess the police knew who she is, but you know, she paid the police off or something. I don't know.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
And she's just been in a coma since?
She was in a coma for like 12 years, and she just recently passed away last year,
Holy
2013.
shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
2023.
Was that because her body just gave up or was it they had to pull the plug?
No, they pulled the plug out, but she was breathing on her own in her
fuck.
ventilation, without the ventilation. But her parents were taking care of her, like, you know, like bathing her, feeding her, like,
God.
you know, in a vegetable state, bro. In a coma, like, you know, like she opened her eyes, but you know, she can't talk. And you know, when you look up the stories, people get out of it for 20 years, and then you hear stories saying, "Oh, my mom wanted to pull out the plug on me, blah blah blah," and you know, I survived. They wrote a book, whatever. You know, I was hoping that would happen, but it never did.
Yeah, there's situations where you lose like a close friend. It's unreal, dude.
Recently, I went to my best friend's wedding, and then I got into a relationship with, you know, a newly found significant other. Like,
Good fucking luck, bro.
yeah. So, no, like she
Just
brought
kidding.
a
Shout out
new-
to her. She seemed nice. I met her once.
yeah,
So yeah.
cheers. No, she brought light into my world. Like,
Oh wow.
she's been through so much also, but no, I can't tell her story. But I felt like we were in the same world, and somehow we reconnected, and
Oh, so you knew her before?
yeah, because she's my best friend's wife's sister,
Oh.
the one recently that we went to the wedding to.
Oh shit. Okay.
I brought light into her world, and we reconnected it, and you know, I know it's too early. It's going on 3 months, but
Oh damn.
She's
Fresh.
yeah, she's the love of my life.
Whoa.
I've never used the word love before, like to anybody like I've ever dated or whatever, but she's the love.
Wow.
Of my life.
Ever.
Yeah, ever. You understand love. Love is a different story when you mature enough. Like, I don't really use the word love at all. Like, you want to hold back on the L word when you're with somebody. You're like, oh man, I love my friends and family. Like, you treat them like unconditional love. But this one, I'm like, hey, I'm in love with her. Like, hey, I love her. Like,
I can see it. To be honest, last time I
Like-
saw you, I was like, something's a little different today.
yeah,
Johnny
like,
looks a little different.
exactly. Like, people don't understand me. Like, I've been, I've been, I'm turning 38 like I've known relationships. I've known all type of girls. Like, like every single type of girls. I've known, like, I've seen relationship crash. I've seen, like, like marriage that are disappointed and, or when
Yeah.
I've seen it all. Like, and that makes me not want to be, like, makes me scared, not wanting to be in a relationship. But this one, I'm like naturally, like magnetically, like attached to.
Mm.
Like, I use the L word. Like, I think I'm in love with you, girl. Like,
How long into the relationship?
2-3 weeks.
Damn.
No,
Ooh.
like, when you fall in love with a girl, it within a couple hours. A girl, like, you look into her, I'm like, damn, I can love this girl forever.
Wow.
Yeah,
I don't know that, but damn, that's crazy that
yeah.
you did. That's
No,
wild.
because all my life, I'm like, nah, I'm never gonna love anybody. I'm
Oh
never gonna get
shit.
married. I'm like, I don't give a fuck about anybody. Like, I'm selfish.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm, what do you call it? I'm a Casanova. Like, I like to, you know, be love and love the girl.
Hmm.
But in this situation, like, shit, like, I give her my heart. I get, like, threw
Damn.
my heart on the sleeve. Like, hey, here you go. Like, I could tell her everything.
So you guys started dating, and
Yeah.
you knew right away.
You just know. When you love someone, it's like
What was the moment for you? What happened?
expressing yourself, like, when that you never express yourself to.
But
You're
was there like a moment? You know what I mean? Like, were you in the middle of something? Did she do something that made you think like, damn, I really love this girl?
It's just a feeling that you just can't describe, bro.
But there wasn't like a key moment that like made you,
No.
or when you said it,
When
when you first told her that you loved her,
I just said, "Hey, I'm in love with you." Like,
what were you guys doing?
we're cuddling. but but I've cuddled other girls. Like, I don't say I'm in love with them or
Yeah.
nothing. Like, it's just a feeling that you have inside. Like, I express myself. Like, damn. Like,
Yeah.
so even I was shocked. I was like, oh, nah, I should be saying that shit. It's kind of weird. And then, but I said it anyways because I was like, yeah, fuck it. No, it's not gonna hurt anybody.
And what'd she do?
She paused for a moment and, you know, she thought, because she was like, oh, I've known you for a while also. Because before that, like, I used to be like, hey, what's up, wifey? Like, how are you doing? And then she had a boyfriend, like 2015 or whatever. I'm like, hey, no, I'm mad at you, like, you got a boyfriend and I can't talk to you like that,
Yeah.
But, she was like, oh, you're still my hubby. And then I was like, oh, nah. But it was against all odds because her sister warned me. And then my best friend, he didn't say anything then, but now he's taking his wife's side saying, oh, like they all warned me. Even she warned me saying, oh, don't, like now well, I gotta tell you the offline. But anyways, just know that, like, I guess I fell in love with someone that's, within a couple weeks.
Oh wow, damn.
Yeah, I've never known that. Well, I know that you can fall in love with somebody within a couple hours, but the second, third week, it's like I said it.
What was different?
Everything. Like, I've seen what she's been through. Like, if people know that what I've been through, we're like kind of on the same level and situation or whatever, like. So I felt like, you know what? I want to show her my world. I'm gonna treat her right and, be the best I can be for someone else,
Damn, dude. So romantic now, bro.
The thing is, cause girls prejudge me before, and she didn't judge me.
What do you mean girls prejudge you?
Like, oh, you're a player, huh?
Uh-huh.
No, I'm not. Yeah, girls crush on me a lot. Like, a lot of girls crush on me. Like,
Mhm.
everywhere I go, you know, I'm like usually I talk as me and my friends, me and my best friend Angel and shit. Like back in our clubbing days, we used to club every single day. Here's another chapter. Me, my best friend Angel, one of my best friend Bun, we used to club every single day. Like we didn't have a day that we don't club or go to the bars. We have like each day that back then when we were young. And you know, everywhere we go, because my best friend, his name is Michelangelo Berber.
Mm-hmm.
He has like like he's a trendsetter also. You know, he has the swag, like, you know, like tight jeans, leather jacket, long hair.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, everywhere we would go, girls would be like, oh, who are those guys, you know, come up to us and think we're like celebrities. And
Yeah.
so, you know, we were like, you know, MySpace famous. He's, you know, he still could be famous also, but he chose not to be because you know, he's grimy as fuck. But he chose not to be. But he could be famous if he wanted to. You know, he modeled for like Forever 21, some Ray-Bans, whatever. He'd be in like, you know, he's like a video vixen. But he chose not to be famous. But he wants to be famous. He chose not to be famous. The thing is, like, we were women hunters. We were like, oh,
Like that was your sole reason for going out back
Yeah,
then?
yeah.
Uh-huh.
His story is like everywhere we go, like, oh, he's a celebrity, you know, like, you know, we'd go on a red carpet, like at the Roosevelt Hotel. There's like a red, like smaller little, like fucking celebrity room, like Chuck Liddell, Lindsay Lohan,
Oh, okay.
fucking, you know, like the Roosevelt Hotel is where all the celebrities go to, like, you know, like pool party. That's where I met Lindsay Lohan, Kirsten Dunst, you know, Chuck Liddell. I was kind of like super drunk when I was young. I asked Lindsay Lohan, I'm like, what's up? You know, like, you know, let me get your number. She rejected me. Lindsay Lohan, she
Go
rejected me.
ahead.
She messed up.
Fuck, I mean,
yeah.
maybe she was
But
drugged out back then.
Kirsten
You know?
Dunst, she's beautiful. She was super nice. She was like down to earth.
She was like one of my few like celebrity crushes, I think, back then.
Yeah?
Yeah, dude, hell yeah.
My best friend Angel, you know, he'd get me anywhere, like, you know, VIP, you know. It's because it's weird. I don't know how he does it, but it'd be like, oh yeah, you know, securities know me. I'm like, why? You know, he like, I just have it, but he has it. You know, he has the face, he has the looks, he has everything. And that's the way I used to dress too back in the days. You know, tight jeans, leather jacket, long hair, and I just had to switch up my style again.
So when did you grow out of all that?
The face.
Yeah, I mean, not
When
even just like the clubbing phase, but like the look, you know,
The clubbing phase, I was gone a while. The look, like, I'm a chameleon, bro. Like, I could have any look I want. Like, recently I had the. Remember when you saw me at the Hannah
goatee.
mustache?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I had to
handlebars?
shave that off, huh?
Why'd you have to shave it
That's
off?
my trademark, huh?
Why'd you have to shave it
Oh,
off?
because long story short, the love of my life, she has a goddaughter that's afraid of you know, facial hair.
Oh, really?
And so she wanted to have a good impression of me to her goddaughter.
Damn, you really are in love.
Yeah,
Shit.
I did. Yeah, I am. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna scare her goddaughter or whatever. So I shaved.
Damn.
But I'm seeing the goddaughter in 2 weeks. So I'm gonna have to shave everything again. And
Oh, you're talking about like completely shaved, like no.
I did completely.
No,
shave.
but like when you see her, you gotta be like completely shaved.
I'm not sure, but I shaved.
Yeah.
But I completely shaved, and it just recently grew again.
Back. And then you gotta shave again. Holy
Yeah, in
shit.
2 weeks I'll shave it.
That's a lot. That's a
what I'm
lot to
saying.
give up the way you look for someone. That's a lot.
I know.
dude.
I had that mustache for like 2 years.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I've gone to this phase now where, because I did that before. I've done that before. For a significant other, I've changed the way I look to appeal to what they want.
No, I don't really do that. But this one, I'm like, you know what? Just to make her happy and just to not scare her goddaughter because she's scared of like facial hair
Yeah.
and hair.
I mean, that's a lot to give up. That's a lot to give. I've
No,
never done it for anyone but my significant other, or only one significant
I've
other
never done
I've
it
ever
at
done.
all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then the last time I dated was where I was like, I don't really care. Like, I stopped at that point. I was like, I'm gonna look the way I look, because I go through phases too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll date, like, I'll grow handlebar mustaches, or completely
Yeah,
shave.
see,
I'll just have a goatee, like whatever. So I just do dumb shit, right? Because I'm just having fun with it.
I'm trying to
But
grow my beard. Like,
again,
yeah, like I had a huge
yeah,
beard.
I
if you
remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that. You trying to grow that out again?
Yeah.
Dude, that goddaughter's never gonna see you again,
Yeah,
bro. if you
that's
fucking
what I'm
do
saying.
that
But
shit.
after,
Okay,
after,
gotcha. I mean, here we are in life. It's been fucking like decades, right?
Yeah.
It's been a long time. What do you feel like is the biggest change that you've made, like, or the biggest change in you that you've seen?
I've matured. I don't like fighting anymore. But the only reason why I fight is because I had a purpose. Like I had a reason to fight. Like I fight for my friends. I fight the bullies that bully people.
Yeah,
But I've grown. I matured. Like I want to be there for my family and friends. Um, you know, want to take care of my mom. Like, even though my mom loves to drink, we take shots together. Like,
I took care of her in other ways. Yeah,
yeah.
gotcha.
When you grow older, you're like, what else? What else is it there to do?
Yeah,
Like besides hanging out with your best friends, hanging out with your loved ones. Like you just want to move on and just live peacefully.
yeah. And I think or at least in my experience, you start to care more about others.
Yeah.
When I was younger, doing all that shit, I lived so recklessly because I was like, well, if I get hurt, as long as I'm not hurting anyone else, who cares?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? If I end up in the hospital, which,
That's me.
Yeah, like, okay.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, that's fine, But now I'm like more considerate of other people's feelings.
Yeah.
I didn't know at the time I was being a liability. At the time I was like just getting fucked up, getting lost, getting into fights, losing shit, whatever's right. And I didn't think of anything because I was like, I can handle myself. But
That's understandable. Yeah.
yeah, but now it's like I gotta think about my friends,
Others. Yeah.
I gotta think about my family. I gotta think about just the purpose I have in general. Like one of the reasons why I actually don't drink as much on this podcast anymore is because I was getting too fucked up.
Yeah.
To where I couldn't, not that I could even form my thoughts correctly when I'm sober, but even more so when I'm fucked up. So I was like, hey, what's more important? Me enjoying this. Don't get me wrong, I still drink from time to time, but me enjoying all these drinks or really getting the message out, the purpose of why we do this podcast, you know? And I was like, you know what? That outweighs the drinking. So then I switched. I started doing more of these episodes sober, right? Because I want to relay the message. And also, I think it's a little bit disrespectful to my guests when I'm not all there. You know what I mean?
It's okay to me.
Yeah, to you, of course. You're just trying to give me a fucking drink. You know what I mean? Like,
it's gone now. You gotta take a sip of mine.
Shit. We'll see about that. I don't know if it's worth my time to take a sip. But it's like you come here and you take time away from your day to show up and do this podcast. Like, I want to show respect by being here and being present and listening to what you have to say.
Yeah, of course.
And that way I can better relay like your story and your message to like some of the people out there, because it's a lot of shits and giggles. You know what I mean? It is like we're fun guys. We talk about shit like this and we laugh about
Casually,
it. It's very casual. You know what I mean? But a lot of it was a lot more serious than it sounded at the time it was happening.
Yeah.
I mean, at the time when it was happening, maybe we laugh and giggle a little bit, but a lot of it was serious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's how we cope. We laugh at it now to show like, damn, we got out of it.
It's just the past. We dwell on it. It's this nostalgic moment, but we move on and we mature from our past. We grow up from wanting to be fighters to wanting to be lovers to understanding what life is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we move on, and to each chapter that we pass or turn the page onto, we're creating another chapter and book that we're writing.
I feel the same way, because going through some hard times, especially in the past couple of years, you tend to think about the past a lot.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the hard times usually tend to go through presently, is because of the accumulation of things in the past. And it's not to say that you could even change anything, right? But you think about it, like, what could I have done better to have avoided this in the future? You know, how could I have better provided for my family if I went back and like changed a couple of like financial decisions, you know?
Yeah.
But you can't go back.
Oh my God. If we talk about financial situation, I'm a gambler. I'm in so much debt.
Yeah,
You know, Asian people, they love to gamble.
we do.
I fucking gamble every single day, bro. From
Oh.
scratchers to Super Lotto to Daily 3
Oh
to
shit, really?
to online sport bet to
Fuck, you still do?
online slots.
Holy
Yeah.
fuck.
I'm in debt, but I love the feeling of taking the risks and
It is in our blood, dude.
Yeah.
But I mean, and this is just me as a friend, right? Someone whose family has been consumed by gambling.
yeah.
Not in just like a typical way
my,
where it's
my
like,
family. It's,
yeah, you know what I mean? Like my parents are divorced, they have their own fucking issues, right? Right now, currently. I want you to get it sorted out, man. I
Yeah.
want you to figure
No,
out because you're in a situation right now
I am.
where you love life,
Yeah.
you found love.
I found
don't-
love.
I don't
That's
want
why
you-
I'm trying to change. Yeah.
I don't want you to lose that over a
No,
temporary thrill.
My girl, she doesn't like gambling or at all. That's why I'm like trying to stay away from gambling. And you know, now that I have like my significant other, I'm like trying to save, trying
That's
to
good.
like pay off all my debts or whatever. I'm like trying to grow from there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that's good. I'm glad.
But I love gambling. I love gambling.
Trust me, I feel you a lot. You know what I mean?
You know,
Trust me.
me and all of the boys, we gamble on everything from beer pong
Yeah,
to like shooting dice to the
playing 13 or anything.
13, yep.
Yeah.
The 6 animal pictures.
Yeah, yeah.
Clock club, gamble on everything. Like we'll throw a quarter through the wall. Like
Yeah, you'll bet if
Beer
someone
pong.
comes late or not. You know,
Yeah.
shit like that. Yeah, of course.
like, me and Jason Koo, I always take Jason Koo's money. Shout out to Jason Koo.
Shouts to Jason, man. Love that guy.
Yeah, I always take his money. Beer pong or
Yeah.
anything.
But I mean, it's stuff like that. I feel like it's not. I see. I hate saying this because I know I'm probably wrong, right? I think I'm kind of wrong on this. I want to say it's not too bad, right? Like beer pong or some shit. Yeah, that's fun. It's a cheap thrill.
Yeah.
But I feel like that down the line long enough leads to other things, right? And I feel like it's never. I hate saying the word never, but it's rarely ever good.
Gambling is never good at all.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, because like we could always.
Unless you hit the Mega Million.
And even then, bro, you most likely, statistically, you will go broke if you hit the Mega Millions. You know, you're
but
more likely
once
to
you
go
hit
broke.
the
than
Mega
keep-
Millions, like no more gambling. Like
That's what everyone says. That's what gamblers say, bro. You see what I'm saying? Like,
no. But yeah, that's what gamblers say. But to me, there's no such thing as gambling like $600 million.
bro, people get to that point, man. You think the person who loses millions think that, oh, there's no way that's me. Like, I'm just gonna gamble a couple hundred, and then a couple thousand, and then they finally get to $1 million, and all of a sudden they're there. You know what I mean? Like, no one.
Yeah, I seen some lady.
Yeah,
like,
I don't think
$2 million is nothing.
Yeah, they build up to this, right? Because like, I'm sure there are some people who could start out there because they probably have that much money to start. But dude, like, yeah, your nerves are not built like that naturally. I think
No.
what it is, this is how gambling addiction works, right? From what I understand, gambling addiction. When you have addiction to gambling, your addiction is actually not to the result. It's actually to right before the result happens.
Yeah. It's
So
just
right when you put your money out and as things are happening, when the ball is spinning in roulette and it hasn't landed, that's where you get your adrenaline. That's
the
where
feeling,
your addiction
the
kicks
feeling,
in,
yeah,
right?
that's the high.
Yeah, once it hits win or lose, it's already kind of
Yeah, it's a high already.
It's already
Yeah,
gone.
yeah.
It's already gone. It else doesn't even really matter.
Yeah.
So you're doing it really just to get that. And what happens is over time you build a tolerance, right? Just with anything. You know, you're drinking, smoking, any kind of drug, any kind of gambling, anything that gives you adrenaline, that adrenaline doesn't hit the same. And guess what you do?
Get more high.
You level up.
Yep.
You
Yep.
level up, right? All of a sudden, $100 bet's not enough. Trust me, I know.
Yeah.
I'm the kind of person where I was like, I saw gambling tear my family apart, and I was like, I'll never be like that. But you know what? Let me bet $25 on
Yeah, it's not so
blackjack.
bad.
That's not that bad. Then 25 became like 50, 50 became 100, 100 became 5, then 1,000,
No,
and 2. Yeah, it happens, dude.
I've been in that situation of losing 100 grand.
Why do you think that you're not gonna do a million?
No, it's because if I'm winning 600 million, I'm gonna stop gambling.
See, again,
No,
you know what I mean?
Like, for me, my word is my word. Like, I like to stay. Like I told you, I'm a blunt guy. I like to be. If I love someone, I'm gonna love them to the death of me. Like I want. Like if I quit something, I'm just gonna quit. Like it's not gonna affect. Cause I know how much it affects other people. Like, cause I'm a gambler. Like I like to take the risk.
yeah.
But once you win like millions, there's no more risk.
There is still a risk, bro. There is. Trust me.
If you take it, yeah, but no, I'd rather like if I win a lot of money, I'm gonna invest that shit. I'm done. Like I can call it quits, like, cause I know myself. I just like to be like, oh, if I can close something out, I close something out. Like for instance, relationship cheats on me, whatever, I'm done. Like one chance. Like I don't go back to for second chances or anything.
But right now, you're trying to quit gambling.
No, I'm not.
You're not trying to quit.
Not yet.
Okay.
But I'm saying like if I win a lot, like.
Okay, well, I'm not here to be like a therapist or anything like that.
Yeah.
I just want to say that I want the best for you and I wish the best for you. And that's just my opinion, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just being
You
blunt
want everyone to win.
Yeah, of course, bro. If you ever find yourself, because people lose
Their house, their car, their everything.
the best parts of their life to achieve their, you know what I mean? Like, I've seen it
I've seen
in personally in my family, and like,
I've seen it all.
yeah, and I just don't want it to continuously happen to other people, and I'm a hypocrite. Don't get me wrong, because I still gamble.
Yeah.
Right. I still gamble, and but I'm a lot better at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
it's the thing is you have control of your risks, your actions.
I don't, dude. No? Fuck no, hell no. That's why I'm better at it now, because I just avoid it. Dude, when I fucking drink and gamble, oh my god, it is game over, bro.
That's why 2 and 2 don't mix.
No,
When you drink, you want to gamble more, and then when you gamble, you want to drink more because you're losing.
Yeah.
But it's one or the either.
Oh, dude. I mean, okay, so for me, this is the way I see things. Like, one, you either just gotta control yourself, or two, just keep it the fuck away from you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's too many people testing their fucking willpower when you got no fucking willpower. You know what I mean? I've seen so many fucking friends try to prove it. Like, oh yeah, I could do it. Like, I'm like, bro, why? Just get away from it.
Yeah.
Why are you always testing yourself? You know what I mean? Like, one more bump. I'm like, bro, shut the fuck up.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, shut the fuck up. My last bump, my last line,
no.
my last baggie. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
That'll never happen.
Just keep it away from you. At this point, and like, I want to believe the best.
Yeah.
In all my friends, right? So when you tell me the last one, I want to believe you.
Yeah. But when I see you,
when your track record is terrible, when you're 0 out of 10,
yeah.
I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Like, I actually don't believe you as much. So it's better for me if you were just not say anything.
Yeah.
Just don't even tell me you're gonna fucking quit. Quit in silence.
Exactly.
Like,
I've seen those friends that are one more. It's cool. Yeah. Nah. One more. Like, nah.
Yeah, it's an addiction.
Yeah. Oh, it's just one time. It's a party. We have party every weekend, bro.
There's always a reason to celebrate.
Yeah.
And one of the things I remember when I lost, well, it wasn't like someone that I was close to, but one of the first funerals I went to when I was younger, like in high school. I remember talking to my group of friends, people that I'm still friends with today, and saying like, damn, like everyone's so sad, and maybe at the time we didn't feel that sad because like we weren't super close to her, but it was someone that we knew, someone that we talked to, someone that we hung out with. I don't think so. She was new to the area, but that was tragic. It was
Did she overdose?
No, she actually has nothing to do with drugs. It was
she just passed away.
Yeah, her uncle shot her and her mom. It was pretty brutal.
Fucked up.
Yeah, pretty brutal stuff. And yeah, man, it was.
Wait, how did it come from drugs to fucking?
And I was just talking about death.
Oh yeah, death in general. Okay,
yeah. Like how we kind of like laugh at these ideas of like people being addicts and like
Oh,
doing
yeah.
drugs, but it does have like severe outcomes as
Yeah,
like
of
our loved
course.
ones have passed away
Yeah.
from it directly or indirectly, right? And I was just talking about like the first death that I had seen or first funeral I'd been to.
That you felt.
It was just more so like I felt like I've always been programmed to kind of take lightly of it. I talk to my friends and I'm sure you say that to your friends too, where like, hey, if I die, I don't want you to cry. I want you to fucking laugh and
Yeah.
like think of all the jokes and bullshit about all the
You know
things that we
what?
did.
I ever die, I don't want my friends to ever cry. I want them to fucking like smoke a joint,
Yeah,
drink their Hennessy, and just laugh it out and like like fuck, like all the good times, not all the bad. Like like don't cry in my funeral. Like we're
Yeah.
just having good time. Like we'll see each other. If you guys believe in like the next, if you believe in reincarnation or whatever, like we'll see each other next lifetime. Do you believe in reincarnation?
I don't believe in like reincarnation in
Are
the
you?
way
What are you? Buddhism,
I was.
Catholic,
I was born into a Buddhist family, but I'm atheist.
atheist? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you and I are both the same. Gemini,
Yeah.
June 2nd, atheist.
Twins, bro.
Yeah,
Twins.
twins.
But no, I don't believe it in terms of like the way we talk about coming back into
Yeah,
like
yeah.
another
But
body.
do you
But
believe in a higher power though?
I don't necessarily believe in the higher power in the way it's presented as this like majestical being
Like
that
the
like does.
invisible person that we have to worship?
Yeah, I think there's something that's happening that is the start of all of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That pushes everything towards one
Big
direction
Bang.
that's causing it. Yeah, not so much like there's one variable that changes everything,
Yeah.
And similar with reincarnation, I think there are things that we pass on through our genetics, even memories.
Yeah.
So in that way, like part of you kind of trickles down through your bloodline, but not so much like I'm gonna be a butterfly in the next lifetime. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Shit
yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah, nah, I'm not gonna be no butterfly.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a fucking lion.
I'm gonna be a dragonfly though.
I'm
gonna
a fucking
the-
dog. Actually, I'm this lifetime. Just kidding. No, I'm
got the
not.
dog in
I'm
you.
a fucking puppy, dude. I'm
Nah, you got
actually
the
a
dog in
nice,
you. You
Nah,
got the dog in
I
you.
don't. Dude. I'm actually.
Arr.
Yeah, we've had enough time here that we know that nothing is ever perfect, right?
Yeah,
like
nothing.
we've had a pretty good life growing up as far as like getting things our way and shit like that, but like growing up, I weirdly enough was very insecure about certain things. And things that I realize now, if I talk about it, might help other people who are in that same position now, currently. So for me, I think one of my first insecurities that I could think of was when I was 5. I went back to Vietnam, and when I came back here, I gained some weight.
Oh yeah.
Right, I was like a
Weight issue.
chubby little kid, and
When you were 5?
when I was 5, yeah, it's
Yeah.
funny because I was skinny until I was 5. And then after I heard, because it's
Wait, how did you get insecurity when you were 5?
because people around me were saying like, "Oh damn,
Man, he's
like
chubby.
Peter got fat."
Oh, yeah.
Not that he's chubby, but he got fat. For a lot of Vietnamese people, they don't know how to communicate that. It's really hard to say like, "Oh, he gained some weight." So in Vietnamese they say, hàng này mập hơn hả? Or mập lên, like you got fatter. Not like, oh, you gained some weight. Like it's really hard to say that.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
maybe I just know how to translate. Is that right? There's no like, oh, you gained some weight. It's like you got fatter. Yeah.
Whatever, fat ass.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, you're triggering my fat kid. You're my inner fat child, right? But you know what I mean? Like, so when I heard that and living in America and hearing like being fat was a bad thing.
Yeah.
To me, that translated as a kid, like, oh shit, like I should be ashamed of this. So, that was my first insecurity. So I lost weight when I was a kid. I think I didn't eat
triggered you,
nearly.
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't eat nearly as much, and I was skinny for like a long time, like a very long time. And that was like my first insecurity.
I know when we first met, you were like super skinny.
Yeah, I was fucking scrawny.
Yeah.
You were scrawny too. You're skinny too.
Yeah.
We were both skinny as fuck.
Yeah, I gained a lot of weight.
Yeah, same. But that was the first thing that I knew growing up, and I don't think anyone really understood that about my eating habits for a long time because, as guys, as jesters of our group, we just fucking laugh at everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when I was gaining weight again when I got older, people were like, "Oh damn, Pudgy Pete," and while I could see how it could trigger like my inner fat child,
Yeah.
I also laughed at it like, Pudgy Pete, like whatever,
Yeah.
right? Do you feel like you went through that in some other way or the same way?
I was always the strongest out of all my friend groups.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever they say to me, it goes over my head. Like I don't really care what people say about me. Like, I'm always a blunt guy. Like, oh, fucking, oh, he's gaining weight. Like, I'm eating good.
Yeah.
Oh, he's super skinny. Fucking, I'm working out. Like, like right now I'm working out. Like,
Yeah.
I do maybe 20 pull-ups a day. Just, just only 20 pull-ups. Like,
Nice.
if I could do more, but it's just I'm consistent with 20 pull-ups. Like,
Yeah.
like I could do leg lifts. I could do anything I want.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
during the pandemic, I was weighing 230.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
You got 230 during the pandemic?
yeah, I was fucking fat. Like,
Shit.
but when the pandemic hit, I started drinking liquor, and it made me lose weight.
But you're probably not eating anything else, though, right?
I eat a lot too. Like,
Oh, you're eating and drinking.
yeah, but pre-pandemic, I was eating fucking buffet nonstop.
Oh shit. The fuck?
My little brother Steven Nguyen.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to fucking go to the casino, and then we used to fucking eat the buffet. And then when pandemic hit, we stopped going, and I was weighing 230, bro. I was super
shit.
fat. Like, I was chubby. Like,
Yeah.
I was 5'8", weighing 230. But during the pandemic hit, I started just drinking, and I lost weight for some reason. I don't know why.
That's
I
interesting.
swear to God to you, I don't know why. I started losing weight. I'm like, all right, cool. And then I started working out. Like, oh, fuck it. I started doing push-ups and sit-ups or whatever. And jumping jacks in my room. And it got me down to maybe like 190. And then 2023, I started walking with my best friend, trying to lose weight for his wedding. Right now, I'm weighing like 180.
Yeah.
But weight doesn't concern me. Like, to me, it's like whatever. Because in the mirror, I'm like, oh, I still look like I'm handsome. Or, yeah, I look in the mirror, I'm like, oh, whatever. Like, I don't care. It's never concerned me for some reason. Like, even though, like, from 5, like when you were 5, I don't remember people calling me like, fat, but I was fat. Like, I was like a chubby little kid. And then I had a 6-pack for some reason. Like, it just grew on me. I had a 6-pack when I was 5.5. Like, even when I was 5 with, being fat, 5.5, I had a 6-pack.
Yeah.
It's just, it never like dawned on me like, oh, my weight fluctuation, like fluctuates back and forth. But people never picked on me about, because I'm a fighter, like I told you. People never picked on me about my weight or anything, like, besides my clothing, my fashion wear during high school. Like, oh, he's wearing tight pants. So, like,
Yeah.
it doesn't bother me until, like, they say it to my friends, like, oh, he's wearing tight pants. But weight-wise, like,
I mean, not just weight. Like when I talk about insecurities, it could be fucking anything.
my insecurity.
It doesn't have to be physical either.
No, okay. My physical insecurity when I was young was my stretch marks on my back. Like, I had a bunch of stretch marks because, like I said, I used to be chubby when I was like a baby or whatever. Then I had a 6-pack when I was 5.5, 6 years old. And from there on out, like, it's okay. Like, in high school, I started noticing, like, I looked at my back. I'm like, oh, I have stretch marks. Why do I have stretch marks? I even tattooed over it, like the fucking tramp stamp. Like, but that's the only thing that gave me insecurity, like stretch marks. And then later on, I grew up knowing that stretch marks natural.
Yeah, I got this tramp stamp for no reason.
Yeah, for real. I had an ex-girlfriend who was insecure about her scar because she had like a scoliosis. And then I was like, babe, this is fucking just like a small little scar. Like, don't worry about it. Like, nobody's gonna care. But she was super insecure. And then I was like, nobody's gonna care about this fucking scar.
You know what though?
Nobody's even gonna see it.
Yeah, but a lot of those insecurities, especially when you're like older, it all stems from like a place that's prior to what you currently know. So, for instance, it doesn't necessarily have to happen when she got it. Let's say she has a scar that from scoliosis, however she got it, and that she's insecure about. She could have already had this idea that having a scar is bad prior to her having it. So her hearing it from someone back then, like, oh, scars are fucking ugly or whatever,
Yeah.
that might have stuck with her until she finally got it and she remembered it because now she has a scar and she's like, oh fuck, like this
Yeah.
is a bad thing.
It's the smallest scar. I got a bunch of stretch marks on my back.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's hard though. It's hard to
Yeah,
get
but
people
it
to
com-
overcome those insecurities, right?
But I hate comparing it though. Like
yeah,
even though she had a smaller scar and I had a stretch mark, like I hate comparing it, but I just gotta let her realize like, no, that's nothing, you know, like
it's tough sometimes though.
yeah,
It's
I
tough
know.
to
It is,
reassure
it is.
someone who
It
you know,
really
on their
is. It really
insecurities,
is.
you know?
I understand that like we overthink about something that's super small and then we think it's big and then we fucking just stress out about it.
Yeah, yeah. Of course.
And that's the thing about life. I look at this like some people was born without legs and I'm grateful to have legs. Some people was born without mouth or can't talk and we were born to speak, to have a voice. And you know, I try to think about that like, hey, we have good food to eat. Third world, they didn't have shit to eat.
Yeah.
We're living in a sheltered room. Some people
AC
don't.
blasting.
Yep. Well, I don't have AC, but yeah.
But I mean the other
Yeah,
places.
but some people don't have shit. Like I think about it that way, and you know, I live my life like, you know what? I'm just gonna live the way I want to live, and sometimes there's bad, sometimes there's good. Like our parents are from the third world, right? The Khmer Rouge era, the Vietnam War.
Yeah.
They come over here, and then they have us. They created us. We don't understand the way they feel, and we try to break the way that they want to treat us, you know, because they're like, don't do that, you know, they're judging us.
Yeah.
And we don't understand that. We just try to be rebellious. Like our parents try to, oh, you know, save this so we can send it back to our family over there, you know, like they hoarder stuff. You know, like my parents, they like to hoard stuff so they can send it back to
Yeah.
their family back in Cambodia or whatever. Like they like to, you know, they want you to eat all your food. You know, like
Yeah.
any Asian household.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
make sure you don't, you know, these kids are starving. You better start eating.
Yeah, it's a weird balancing act between finding your own like identity and the identity that your parents placed upon you.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's tough. I'm still learning how to do that now, dude, to be honest. But
Yeah.
slowly but surely we'll figure it out. And hopefully next generation they get a little bit easier than we do. You know?
Exactly. We're gonna be creating our next generation.
I mean, you are. I'm not gonna have kids. That's all you, broski.
No.
But I gotta ask you something. So there's one thing I wanted to talk to you about, and this is probably be a little different than
Personal or
Oh yeah, fuck yeah, it's personal. Everything's fucking personal here. Bro.
okay.
But all right, so you're now Handsome Boy Kills. Used to be Johnny Kills.
Yeah.
Obviously, you have confidence to yourself about your looks, right?
Always.
Why the screen name, and why do you feel the way you do with your confidence?
The screen name, I got it from some lady that called me handsome. And then my homegirl, you know, her name is VNA. We went to Vegas one day and she's like, why do you call yourself handsome? I was like, because some lady called me handsome.
Uh-huh.
And then she's like, okay, handsome boy. And then, okay, my last name is already Keo. So I go by Keos. Yeah, my homegirl, I call her Dirty Feet because, you know.
What the fuck?
No, because
Yeah.
we
Are
were
you sure you're homies?
no, yeah, we call her Dirty Feet because when we were in Vegas, she was walking, she was in heels.
Oh, yeah,
she took out her shoes and she was walking in barefoot, and so I call her Dirty Feet. But I
Fair,
I
she
even
deserves that.
give her a piggyback ride.
Okay.
Fucking yeah, so that's why she's like, oh, handsome boy kills. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna stick with that name.
So what about the confidence part?
Over the years, you build it up. You know, like you build up confidence. It doesn't start like right away. Like you build up confidence right away. It takes years. It takes times. It takes days. Like, you know, like you're gonna get rejection. Everyone's gonna reject you, or what type of, it's depending on what girls you like or whatever, you know. But rejection is always gonna come in, and then you're gonna get confidence, and then you're gonna build it up. Like, you know, you build up the confidence. But for me, it's different because, you know, I'm handsome. So I learned through my experience, like each experience that I've gained, I'm gonna build from it. Like I'm not gonna look back on it. I'm just gonna move forward. Oh, if you don't like me for this, okay, that's fine with me. Like you just move forward. What do you call it? All my friends, I'm always the one that's most blunt. Because I don't like lying or fucking whatever. I used to sell tickets for my friends that are in bands. We just go to each person. I'm like, hey, would you like to buy a ticket? Like, they said no. I'm like, okay, like, and then you start getting more aggressive. Like, hey, buy this fucking ticket. You know what I'm saying? But it's just.
So you
it's
feel
just-
like that
you
helped
built
out?
it. Yeah, you built character. Every person you encounter, you build character. Every person you meet, you're like, oh, that guy's cool. Maybe I should just become more like him. Like, you gain like, like the spirit bomb from, Goku.
Yeah.
Like, give me that spirit bomb. Like, I'll
Yeah.
fucking, yeah.
Because the reason why I asked you is because like we got good looking friends, you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
I don't feel like they're nearly as confident as you when it comes to certain things, or even like to deem yourself like handsome. You know what I mean? Like I have friends who, if anything, seem insecure, even though they have the looks for it. And
Everyone's insecure. Trust me. I was always insecure. But it's just through the experience. You're like, you know what? Fuck it. You only live once. Well, you live every day, but you die.
oh, that's good.
You die once, and that's it. Your life is done.
Get to live a lot, hopefully,
Yeah.
But damn, yeah, you're right. Because for me, I personally don't think that I'm unconfident. Yeah, in most things.
But you gain it.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think what you were saying, especially through repetition, that's true. I think a lot of people are too scared of rejection, and that's how they don't gain the confidence because they stop before it even happens, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So
They're nervous. It's like a job interview. Like, even though you get rejected, you gain from that experience, and then you're gonna learn from it.
Oh yeah.
Then you keep on growing and growing and growing. Then once you get the most confident ever, they accept you.
Oh yeah, dude, for sure. Especially job interviews, dude.
Yeah.
You give
Yeah.
me after I got like my third or fourth job interview. Damn, dude, I kill it every single time.
For 2-3 years ago, I've been to a lot of interviews, like from rejection to acceptance. Even though like you don't want to accept that job, you're like you go through it, you gain that experience. So I'm like, okay, I went to 20 interviews a couple years ago until I'm like, oh, I like this job, so I'm gonna keep it right now. But I'm gonna still go through other interviews, and you gain from that experience. That's why I'm confident the way I am. Like, I'm just myself. If I'm not myself, like, it feels weird.
Do you have any piece of advice for someone who's struggling to be themselves? Someone who's like teetering between the line of like, this is what I really want to be like, this is who I really am, and pleasing like their parents or what society thinks.
Don't ever listen to your parents.
Shit.
No,
I
like,
don't know.
straight up. Like, no, like, if you want to be yourself, you have to be yourself. Like, sometimes your parents are wrong.
Okay. Yeah.
Not most parents are correct or right. Because parents, they have their own experience.
Yeah.
It's like our parents, like, they want us to live the way they want to live, but we can't because we're in America now, and they were living in the third world,
Yeah.
and it's different for them. They were fucking in a war or, like escaping from a war, and they had to like dumb down so they don't get killed.
Yeah.
We can be smart and we can overcome everything and we can be ourselves. We got to be thankful for our parents traveling.
I am 100%, dude. I want to repay them back 1,000 times if I can. So.
But you know what? Insecurity, it happens to the best of us. We just got to move on. Like, life is short, and you know what? Like, each person that you meet, it's not even, they could become your best friend or your enemy or just a person that you just randomly meet, and then they move on from their life to your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could be like, oh, I met Peter like 3 weeks ago, but when am I gonna see him again? I could meet another person randomly in the street. I could see him every single day. I'm like, oh shit, I just saw you the other day. Like, it's just, hey, you just gotta move on. Like, you just gotta keep moving,
Yeah.
keep pushing. No matter what, like, you live your own life the way you want to live it, but not killing people or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Let's
you're
try
like,
not to hurt people. But yeah, I
Yeah,
hear what you're saying.
but you just gotta move on and live your life the way you want to live.
I just want to say thank you, Johnny, for coming on, sharing some stories, and going back through some nostalgic times.
Yo, thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course, bro.
You can find us at a Convoy MFG CO.
And I want to say thank you to Honest for sticking all the way through. I know you talked about some crazy bullshit, but make sure you guys like, subscribe, and comment below what you guys want us to talk about next time.
Sure.
And remember, live
Fast and eat ass, baby. Let's go.